what up, y'all? It's your boy Elusar, about to give you guys a little bit of rundown of what's going on right here at HittingHardRadio.com and some of the shows that we're running every single day, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's the Wake Your Ass Up morning show with Core DJ LA, playing a little bit of everything and especially that West Coast flavor, okay? Then you got the morning shift with Sayer. He comes in and does interviews, plays a lot of great music, and of course, videos and news you can use, right? Then directly after that is the Method Lab from 2 to 4 with Gio and Larry, followed by Fire in the Streets with OG, our music director. Make sure you check him out, playing some of the best independent music from across the nation every single day, Monday through Friday, 4 to 6, right here on HittingHardRadio.com. Also, a lot of great stuff going on in the evening time between the hours of 6 and 9, Monday through Friday. So make sure you tune in for those shows as well. We have Caesar Studio with Way Back Wednesday show on the Comfort Zone. And then every Thursday night is Throwback Thursday. A lot of smooth grooves and a lot of funk and electro. All that stuff kicks in. Starts right here at 9 p.m. till 11 every Thursday night. So don't go nowhere. Make sure you guys tune in and check them out. And then obviously every Friday, it is Hitting Hard Mix Show with the Pitch Control DJs, bringing you all the flavor you can handle for your house parties. If you're not going out to the club, you want to tune in, all you got to do is listen to these dudes right here. About to get it in. Keep it locked right here, HittingHardRadio.com. What up, everybody? It's your boy Elusar checking in with you guys right here, HittingHardRadio.com. Make sure you guys check out Fire in the Streets every single day with OG from 4 to 6, driving you home. And like OG would say, find yourself some pussy with some power.
What you doing still in bed, man? Yo, you need to punch in for that morning shift MKE with Sayer right here on HittingHardRadio.com exclusively from 10 to 2 p.m. Check it out, man. You're missing out.
Yes. Welcome everybody to the show. Welcome to the Method Lab, the METHOD Laboratory. Yeah. Welcome to the show here on HittingHardRadio.com. We are radio you can watch. Thank you for joining us today on this hot, dry, thank God it's not muggy Thursday. As we call it, Conspiracy History Thursday. A day of mystery. A day of adventure. A day of resolve and decision making. Do you believe or don't you believe? Do you run or do you loot? I think we're going to go with looting. Yeah, definitely going with looting. This week, we're about that. But yes, welcome to the show. Thank you to everybody that tunes in on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, on a yearly basis, on a leap year basis, on a, what else? Bicentennial, what is it, 12-year itch, or I don't know. If you fit, we're about it. Welcome. Thank you. To all the groups that allow us to share, we have some quirky groups that we are in that allow us to share. So hats off to you guys and gals, or however you identify. We're about that too. You be you. And we will be we. We.
As we always are.
As we always are. Yes. I don't know where I was going with this. I'm still in the middle of waking up
I see that.
till September comes.
I see. You just jumped in there and just kind of like you're in a pool, but you're
I
in a
am
mud pool.
a mud pool. I'll eat the hunk of shit. Yes, it's been a weird day, man. Weird day. It started early for me. I was out on the road by 2 a.m. No, by 1 a.m. And first thing I walk out the door to is the young neighbors outside looking for their dog because they got away. And I was like, oh, well, let me hurry up and get out of here before they ask me to help them. And then I proceeded to hop on a highway. And when I was en route, I saw the weirdest thing. I was heading, which way was I heading? I was heading south. I was about to hop on the Chicago ramp to head down to Kenosha. And out of the side of I see Becky and Laura driving in their Altima on the wrong side of the highway, barreling their way towards me in the open highway, just nonchalant, listening to Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas. Full blast.
In the middle of June?
In the middle of June, just hanging out the window, you know, FNF, YOLO'd out, just driving on the wrong side of the highway. I've heard about it, you know, I've heard about it being an occasion, especially around bar close in Wisconsin. But to actually see a car just nonchalant, just full of the speed limit, might I ask. Thank God they were doing the speed limit, not over, not under. Just right at the speed limit. Just barreling down the highway in the opposite direction. It's kind of jarring. I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna lie. To see that fucking car just zoom, you know, like, man, they're going pretty. Wait, that motherfucker's going what? He's going backwards. If I'm going forward, they're going backwards. And then in my mind, I pondered. I was like, damn, did they get off the off ramp, or did they go and barrel themselves into somebody? I ain't checked the news, so I don't know. Did you hear about a wrong way driver on the highway, or was it another politician's college age daughter hopping on the highway?
I don't know, but I'm always seeing people driving on the wrong way.
Yeah.
It's the summer.
Yeah.
It's the summer of 22. And frankly, I'm convinced that not being aware of how to drive is the popular norm and the new norm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Here, you get all the studying you can just to go get your license and fail driving at life. It's just how it is. You know? People are crashing their cars faster than Tom Hanks can say, back the fuck up. It's common. It's real. It's everywhere. Being behind the wheel comes with a real life question. Do I have what it takes to make it home and drive for other drivers? Because you're not just being an offensive driver. You're not just being a driver that's getting from point A to point B. You have to be a defensive driver and drive understanding the intentions of the next person. So you have to assume that if someone is driving reckless, it's a stolen car. You have to assume that they're in a chase. You have to assume that they're chasing someone. You have to assume that they're not paying attention. You have to assume that they're texting on their phone, that they're in the middle of a conversation.
Third grade live reading level.
Or they're just adjusting a radio station or something spilled in the car. You have to assume.
They dropped their liquid meth.
Exactly. You have to assume that when they're laying towards you, that they don't have what it takes to stop before they get to you. So you have to now maneuver your way out of the way. And it's been like that. It's always been that way. But now it's more prevalent. It's more recent. It's more occurring. It's more consistent. See, a lot of people are so fucking focused on, I got to get home, and then they don't take into account, oh, shit. If I'm in a neighborhood that's usually a hot item where shit usually goes left and right, and sometimes illegally turning in a lane that they're not supposed to, I better be cautious. I better be on my P's and Q's. But some folks be so fucking tired, they just be like, you know what, fuck it, hit the shit. Hit the shit, hit the shit, I want to go to jail today. Hit the shit, I don't feel like driving anymore. Hit the shit, I'd rather let my insurance take care of it. It's become one of those things that have now perplexed the citizens of this fair city. It is. Times like this, we need a hero. We need Autobots. Autobots that transform whenever there's a head-on collision or there's a violation of moving vehicles where they could just transform and settle it in the streets mano a mano. And whoever wins in the fist fight gets to do the legal shit. Police just barricade and make sure nobody else gets hurt.
Yeah, Street Fighter style.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be. Bezos, Musk, Gates, get on this shit. Let's get them going. We need GoBots. You got to start with GoBots first before you go full Autobots. You can't go Autobots. They get to transforming. Next thing you know, people are dead on the inside. They're all twisted up and shit.
They're not the fucking Power Rangers.
They're not ready for that shit, man. They're not ready for that shit. We were lucky enough to see the mechanics through Michael Bay. He did not think that through. No robot is going to just transform and the human's just in there, just protected and safe. Right. No. As soon as that arm shifts over, his torso is over there in the cockpit. The rest of him is in the tail flap. It's over.
Bing, bang, boom.
That's all you can hear. As soon as he transfers,
right.
And that's it. That's it. So no, we need GoBots first. Simple GoBots. Those ones that eject the people out and then they just twist into these little 5 feet fucking machines and let them fight it out. That'd be much better and much safer.
I think they call them baby mamas.
Yeah. Let them just go ahead and duke it out.
Duke it out.
Now, of course, you know, this is going to be a problem for most vehicle GoBots. I'm just saying. If you happen to have like a Chevy Tahoe GoBot, 9 times out of 10, you're going to win that match. You're going to win that match. Unless you're driving a Honda, in which the Honda will probably be a lot faster. It just won't have a lot of power in the punches. But it'll hit a lot of times.
No, you thought about this through.
Oh, man.
You thought this through.
I did. I did. Someone actually, we had this discussion probably a couple months ago in a Discord. And I was talking about this, and I said, you know, I propose a plan. And it was funny because I had a whole infrastructure set out. And I was like, you know, we'll have the top innovative technology companies in on this shit. You start off with GoBots and you work your way up to Autobots. And if ever so happens we happen to go to war and things happen to go left, then, and we have to like go back and reserve our Autobots because of a gas crisis, then I suggested then you evolve into Dinobots. Go full Dinobots when you're fully off of the gas thing and you want to go like strictly just, you know what, we're done with engine and you know, oil and everything like that. Let's just move into a healthier place. Okay, Dinobots.
Let's just get to walking.
Dinobots.
Dinobots, just full Dinobots. It's fair. It's fair. We should end the way we started. Just saying.
As tadpoles coming out of the water.
There'll be little drones, and they just crawl out. The next thing you know, those little feet have wheels on them, and sunroofs. Sunroofs. Now, I'm not saying that they should all have like rockets and shit like the cartoons and nothing. I'm just saying they should be walking. Walking. I wouldn't say talking. We don't need them to talk, but just walking, not even breathing, but moving automatons, getting us from point A to point B. That's my suggestion.
Well, that's one hell of a theory. And you know what?
We can afford it.
Just like the good man, Sleepy Joe said, where am I? Where am I? Where's Barack?
Last time we did Conspiracy History Thursday, I said some things on here that had me a little nervous. My phone clicked a couple of times leaving out of here. It was a little nosy. We were on here talking about we're talking about scientists that passed away and people who were innovators that ended up creating things and not living to see it, be realized. And upon suggesting these conspiracies, my phone had a history of, throughout the week, just kind of unknowingly or just purposely chiming in and recording conversations and trying to, like, the Bixby thing would just pop up. Now, I've deleted this thing off of my phone, and yet it still remains.
You can't. It's built-in software.
I know. I'm aware of that.
Bixby.
But there is a way you can turn it off. Yeah. However, this refuses.
It does when it wants to.
Yeah. No matter what prompt, no matter what is done, it pops on when it wants to. And it does not allow me to shut the phone off. I have to clear it through them to cut it off. It didn't used to do that before. Now I have to command it to turn off. And if it does, it will turn off but reboot back on. And I have no control over it. That is strange to me. But, I'm used to this. This is Conspiracy History Thursday. This is what we invite people here for. This is the type of shit that we talk about on a daily basis.
Well, I want them to take over my bank account. And you made me learn a hard lesson. Teach me how to be rich. Just go on and deposit $18.6 million.
I'm pretty sure that'll teach you a hell of a lesson.
Yes. I'm ready for this lesson. I will be your hero, baby. Oh, shit.
Now,
they'll never do shit like that. Fucking government.
Of course not.
They'll never just randomly. Well, that was supposed to go to Bezos, but you got it. Well, we're just going to leave it there. You could take some off the top. It's okay.
I always wonder when I was doing this show, because it's been almost 2 years now. And from the very moment we started the show, we first started, we used to spend every single day literally on President Watch, because it was ground fucking zero. There was so much shit going on.
There was so much hate.
It wasn't just the hate.
Like,
it was more so the reaction. It was like the White House did what?
It was like a mixture of fucking concentration camp and fucking set tripping.
It was such a scary time.
What do you rep?
It was such a scary time because
are you a D or an R?
The country was at odds. Everybody was split down the middle, and it wasn't even just split down the middle. It was split into three parts. One side was pro-Trump.
Pro-Trump.
The other side was against Trump.
Yep.
And there was the side that was in the middle that was just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm scared to death.
Because they were babysitting Sleepy Joe.
Like, it was such a clusterfuck of we don't know what the fuck's about to happen. But yet, everything kept happening. So all the news somehow revolved around politics, no matter what. That whole 4 years was probably the most political years we've ever had experienced as a country. Because everybody was in tune. Everybody, for all the extensive presidents we've ever had, no fucking country has ever been that into politics until that happened. Everybody needed to know every single law because they were afraid they were going to lose it. Everybody needed to know every single amendment because they were afraid it was going to get changed. Everybody needed to know every single bylaw, every single bill, every single constitution, every single process. Why? Because they had no fucking clue what this man was about to do, and they wanted to be ahead of the curve before anybody else. It was like having your thumb over the button of whether to open the bomb shelter or get those plane tickets to that country you've always been wanting to see and defecate to. You know, just get defective. Let's go. So it was weird. And then once he left, and then you saw Joe, it was like, well, it's bad, but it's at least back to normal.
Right.
We're back to a president that ignores us.
Right.
Instead of one that's always picking out, hey, I don't like that group over there. Let's hate that group. That shit got annoying. And it got scary because you never knew when your belief or your potential likes or whatever you were into was going to be on the chopping block to get fucking roasted for a moment of time. So it was weird. And now we've gone back to that complacency. We've gone back to just the way I like it.
We
Not
don't
knowing
have
what
to
the fuck
worry
is going
about
on.
that shit.
What?
I'm saying we don't have to worry about that shit.
What? That shit?
That's the mentality now. Oh, we got a good one in there.
I don't even think it's that.
We got a good. I don't want to worry about it.
I don't even think they call him a good one.
Let's go back into autopilot.
I think it started off like that, like we got a good one in there,
Never.
and then they
Never.
got him in there. So trust me,
Maybe to the masses.
That's what I'm saying. Somebody, obviously a good
The
chunk of people
masses and
felt
the
like
asses.
that. Like, yeah, we got a good one in there.
Yeah, no.
But as of now,
I would rather take fucking whipped cream, guzzling fucking. What the fuck was the Asian guy? Remember the Asian guy that fucking went on live TV interview and fucking dropped to his knees and ate
you
whipped
talking
cream?
about
Whipped cream from.
no, he didn't drop to his knee. He was running.
No,
and
he
then-
was the one doing his intern was the one that dropped to his knees.
The intern dropped.
Yeah.
It was a white guy. He dropped to his knees because he wanted to suck the whipped cream. He wanted to whip the whipped cream out of a can. And for no reason, I don't think the guy really understood what he was doing. So he was squeezing the thing into his mouth, and the guy got eye level with his cock and balls, so he could just squeeze whipped cream into his mouth. Real weird. But he was running for president.
It was the wrong month too.
Wrong month. As soon as he did that, it was over. And that fucking bothers me. That fucking bothers me. Why is that the catalyst?
Someone
someone's
ask Amber,
disqualified?
see what she's doing, see if she can give us the name of the candidate. Haven't heard from Amber in a while.
She's watching.
Miss Tech
Tag her.
support.
Tag
Yeah,
Amber and
tag her.
tag her, Amber.
Ask her what was the whipped cream guzzling, or no wait, who was the Bukkake
politician-
candidate?
Yeah, who's the politician making his interns with whipped cream from his crotchal region?
Yeah, and then he would slap him in the lips with the tip of the can.
Like, you're a dirty candidate.
Dirty candidate.
You're a dirty candidate.
You keep this up, you'll no longer be an intern.
You're a part of my pack.
We're gonna right
Hush money.
part-time employee.
Hush money. Hush money.
What's Vince McMahon doing right now?
That's so fucking naughty. That's crazy. That's what they were doing.
Yeah,
And
facts.
That's facts.
Look
You
it
can
up.
look it up. That's right. You can Google it.
Charlamagne the Guy was probably somewhere around there too.
Taking pictures like, wow.
Hey,
What the
welcome Dunk Donkey the other day.
Whole glizzy can? You got a glizzy can?
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
That's the fucked up thing. You could lose your candidacy. You could lose millions and millions of dollars. You could even lose your popularity and your female fan base. Why? Because you ate a glizzy. Just for eating a hot dog. If you ate a hot dog and you enjoyed it, that's the best damn dog ever. Yo, glizzy sucking ass. The fuck? When did that become? That has become a thing.
It's an insecurity.
It really is. I didn't realize.
The majority of people that are gonna, I think in theory, the majority of people that either make homosexual jokes or jokes or just harsh comments on sexual interaction amongst LGBTQ community. You know, you can really tell which one of those people are just intimidated or confused on their stance. You know, and more than that, I think history has shown through FBI director Herbert Hoover, or what was the fuck, Charlie Hoover?
No, Herbert Hoover.
Hoover.
No,
Hoover,
you talking about,
Doober.
Doober
Doober.
I'm
Hoover
thinking
Doober.
Herbert Hoover. You're talking about J. Edgar Hoover.
J. Edgar Hoover. History shows that most of these people that are so critical on a specific way of living are part of that, are just extremely embarrassed or extremely scared of the ramifications of people finding out. You know,
So they
and
go
that's
extra
a
hard.
sad way of living. To really deteriorate and really put your energy towards destroying a specific type of person.
But
Because
see-
you are that specific type of person and you can't find the solace and comfort within yourself to say, hey, I'm this.
But you see, 8 times out of 10, a lot of people that go hard on any subject are really that.
Yeah.
There are guys that go out there and obliterate women on a daily basis. Hell, there are women out there that go out there and obliterate guys in the male species on a daily basis. Yet, if they came across the right one, they'd fall just like that. They'd be the biggest simps on earth for that person.
Change their ways.
You'll see somebody that actually goes out there and denigrates somebody for a whole race. Whole race, but secretly, was just mad because that race rejected them at one point. Or they felt rejected or slighted by that one group at some point.
Stop
Whether it
talking
was
about Justin Timberlake like that, Larry.
Justin Timberlake can eat a dick. Okay? He can eat a whole dick.
A whole glizzy.
And he can eat a
And
whole
get
glizzy.
canceled.
You can have his titty ripped out by the Super Bowl. I don't give a fuck. Okay? But a lot of people will have those type of like angst. And they'll have that type of anger, resentment. You know, even the ones that attack certain religions. Somehow, some way are having their dispute with what they believe in.
That's why I never understood an atheist that argues religion.
I always felt like, if you're an atheist,
you don't
that's
believe
it.
in shit. So what does your point of view in somebody else's beliefs have to do with anything if you don't believe that exists? So how are you going to argue Jesus if you don't even believe in anything? You know, or how are you going to argue Allah? How are you going to argue, what is it, the Blockbuster religion down in Utah?
They believe God is gonna rerun one
Yeah,
day.
what the fuck are they? The Jehovah's Witnesses or the Latter-day Saints, or take your pick. Take your pick. One of those man-made religions.
Gio's still waking up.
I'm woke. God damn it, I'm woke.
He said
I'm woke.
He said the Amish community of Latter-day Saints.
Oh shit. But my point is, if you don't believe in shit, then don't say shit, and
Okay.
just be happy.
What about those that don't believe, and when they're asked what they believe in, they say they don't believe in anything, then they're attacked.
that is also an issue. Let people believe or not believe in whatever the fuck they want.
Because that's one thing too, especially if you're someone who is religious and you come across somebody
And we know that religious people are fucking overbearing. Settle the
not
fuck
all
down.
of them, but not all of them.
Well,
but
the ones that are.
There are a good portion for any religion
Yeah.
that feels that strongly that they feel like their existence is is to be a living testimony to anyone or anyone different. And you have in certain religions where people put that emphasis on them to do so.
To spread the word. To be
Right.
what the fuck is the word? To be they always get like go to the native tribes and they end up fucking hung on a pole.
Yeah, the fucking missionaries.
Missionaries, there you go. There
See,
you go.
that to me is the danger. Not everyone is meant to be a missionary, nor should they feel that because they join something that they are entitled to be a missionary. Because that's a dangerous thing. We reported on here before. There was a story we shared on here about a mystery, especially on a Thursday, where a gentleman and his wife were missionaries and decided to go to a village down, way down in the down under. And they decided to go off into this remote island and tell these
Aborigines? Aborigines?
Not even Aborigines. These were indigenous people. Like, they were closed off from the world. And I think they were some of the ones they talked about on Wild Boys. They were like a tribes people, very, very non-religious. They do very pagan. They do not believe in any of
modern
that.
religion.
None of that. They are of the land. And what they believed in was totally different. And of course, their belief system was what they believed. And the family, the couple that went over there and missionaried for them, I hate the way I said that because it sounded sexual.
And they just missionaried everyone.
But they were missionaries. They went over there and they told them that
missionaries
their Bible was
missionary?
wrong. I would think so.
Yeah.
I feel like missionaries just do nothing but missionary. I don't feel like they don't follow anything else.
No.
They don't try to do anything else.
Do they use the Lord's name in vain?
Nah,
Do they go Jesus, Jesus, Jesus?
I doubt it.
No.
I doubt it. It's like I just feel like they're easily the ones that really start off horror movies. They're always the ones that get killed first. Missionaries always die first, damn near. And I hate to say that, but with this situation, it was true.
Yeah.
Because they went over there and told these people that their Bible was wrong, that the way they were living was wrong, that their belief system was wrong.
That they did not have an electric car charger
They were
next to their
godless.
hut.
And what ended up happening was
They were gutless.
they became gutless. They became headless.
Headless, gutless, limitless.
What was left of them, someone had to come get it
Yeah.
because they didn't go home alive. They didn't go home in one piece. You don't do things like that. Some people believe what they believe. You can't go out challenging every single thing as if it's evil. Is there evil that exists on this earth? Yes. Yes. Does that mean that we are all equipped to fight it? Hell no. No. Unless you're a Ghostbuster. And I ain't seen too many motherfuckers with a proton pack on their back. And I ain't seen Bobby Brown following you behind you singing. So obviously you not equipped. Now, as far as I know, me and Gio come the closest. We say funny, witty lines. We're well aware of the historical documents of what it means to bust ghosts.
Never cross your streams.
See?
Bam.
So, if I'm not mistaken, if we miss some meetings, then as far as I know, there are no Ghostbusters. Because we didn't get the call. You know they got to have a black person, so I ain't get the page. And nobody I know got the page. So, we tend to allow certain shit to fly. We tend to allow ourselves to get caught up in the spectacle of things. We tend to have ourselves get caught up in shit. And we tend to miss out on the things that we should really be looking at. We tend to miss out on the things that we should be saying, what the fuck is going on over there? What is that over there? What is that happening there? What's that? Why are they doing that? Why aren't we talking about this? Why aren't we looking at that? Why aren't we examining and tackling this?
Because Old Navy's having their 4th of July sale. 65 pairs of sandals in 5 colors, different variations.
I thought you were gonna say they were
for
having the Juneteenth sale.
$3.99. Don't forget about their 4th of July printed shirts. 65 of them for $3.99. Christmas is right around the corner. Go to Bed Bath & Beyond and get your favorite candle. 62 of them for $10.99.
God damn.
Is that enough of a distraction?
I guess so.
No? We can go Victoria's Secret. Get 80 draws. Dick holes or not dick holes, doesn't matter.
80 draws.
80 draws.
No dick holes in them.
80 draws.
None of the dick holes are in them, though. None of
Realistic pricing, $23.99. That's how they get us.
That's how they get you. All the
Yeah.
time. All the time.
You thought Cyber Monday and Retail Friday or Black Friday or
All
I don't
of
know what are Juneteenth Friday? Are they taking over that too? Are they gonna make
Probably.
Hey, geez, they're gonna call it Melatonin Friday or
Oh, we're going to talk about that, though. We're going to talk about that because guess what? For all my melanated people out there, you better protect yourselves. That's right. All you motherfuckers out there caping and clowning and clowning, talking about how, yeah, I'm so done with my folks, my people. I think I'm going to go get me something light and bright and all right and all this other shit. I'm going to improve my credit score. Get your goofy ass, sit down somewhere. Sit down, pop a fucking bag of popcorn. We're going to educate you about your goddamn self, too. All you goofy motherfucking minorities out there, steady tossing around jokes and ha-ha and geeky about how you so done with people like you. Your self-hating ass can sit down, pop open a fucking wine bottle or whatever Merlot you got from your fucking coworkers. Sit down, crack open
all
a
these
bag of
finest.
cheese. Right.
All these finest.
Sit your ratchet ass down somewhere, crack open some cheese. We're going to learn you about yourself. We're going to teach you a little something. Guess what? It's Conspiracy History Thursday.
You heifers,
And today of all fucking days, guess what? This might be our darkest, scariest episode yet. Because guess what? As you know, on Conspiracy History Thursdays, we tackle the most known and the dark unknown. We tackle it all. Sometimes people out there like to watch, dabble into the news and see what's on the surface. And they love looking at things that the media will put to them and say, hey, don't you care about this? A little kitten is dressed up in cosplay like Kim Kardashian. Look at the fake booty on that one. Isn't it adorable? Fuck that cat. Okay? We're here to talk about the real life skinwalkers that's hiding out in the goddamn mountains slaughtering pets and waiting for your ass to come out camping. So it could rape your nostrils.
the Jablonskis.
I'm telling you.
They lost the warehouse, so they live in the desert now.
How many of y'all out there have actually heard of actual sand fleas? Never heard of them before, have you?
Sand fleas?
Yeah.
I don't like using derogatory terms.
Unfortunately, this isn't a derogatory term.
Oh,
This is an actual creature.
oh
Have you ever heard of them?
no.
Never seen them before, have you?
I have heard of horseflies.
Oh. Well, guess what? There's sand fleas out there. And if you didn't know about it, you're going to find out on this show. As a matter of fact, how many of you have ever heard or seen an actual, and I want to make sure I got this right, but how many of you have ever heard that Europe actually has cave worms?
Cave worms? Like what? Like fucking Dune?
I'm not familiar with Dune.
Oh, you want a real like?
I didn't see the remake. I saw the original, but if you're thinking like that scale, no.
or
But
like,
close.
Like Kevin Bacon and what is it?
Tremors?
Tremors.
Close.
Oh, I'm for that. I love Tremors movies.
Now let me. Now you're familiar with that movie, right?
Yeah, Kevin Bacon was shit and everything.
But you're familiar with The Creature, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You saw how big and massive that thing is, right? Okay. What if I told you that's a Hollywood exaggeration as far as size, but the actual living creature itself exists?
It devours humans.
It's possible. What if I told you we have actual footage of one here on this show today?
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You see, ladies and gentlemen, Conspiracy History Thursday is not about scaring everybody. It's about challenging what is real and what is fake. It's about alerting ourselves to what's out there that's a myth and a mystery, and what out there is a fact and a warning. Some things are put out there as distractions. We dissect those distractions, we uncover those distractions, and we label them as just that, distractions. However, when we see a smoking gun, we follow the smoke. And when we follow the smoke,
We usually pass it around. No?
we catch the shooter, G.
Oh, okay.
We catch
Yeah.
the shooter.
We catch the shooter.
God damn it. He's passing the smoke around.
Yeah. Yeah.
See? World's best detective service right
Yeah.
here, goddamn.
Good cop, bad cop. Right now, I'm doing the Sleepy Joe cop.
I swear to God. This is a symbolism for our United States right now.
Yes.
If this doesn't tell you we're in trouble, smoking gun right here. This just shows you. But first, we have to tackle our first initial threat.
Okay.
Okay? First and foremost, can we please have a round of fucking applause for the birthdays that are taking place this week? Because once again, it's a popular week for me. Another one of my uncles,
Nah.
Perry McCants. Shout out to you and happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday, good sir.
And I hope that you're paying attention and the nurses are watching you right now and they're watching this.
And
hanging
like
out.
OG would say, find yourself some pussy with some power.
If I know my uncle, he's looking.
Yeah, right. That's why I said it. Like, oh, McCants. Okay.
So shout out to you, Uncle Perry.
I've heard of this tribe.
Right. Shout out to my Uncle Perry, man. I hope you having fun. I hope you're not eating too much.
Yeah.
Not going too crazy, too ham. But I hope you're having fun. You're enjoying yourself. I hope the weather is nice to you. I know it's hot as fuck, but I hope you're under some central air and you're enjoying yourself a nice, cool lemonade or some water, mostly some water, not the citrus.
Yeah.
But get some water in you. Have some fun, enjoy yourself, and I know you're getting all the birthday love, wishes, and everything. So peace, love you, happy birthday to you.
Yes, happy birthday.
Now
Who's next?
it's time to send another special round of applause to a pioneer, a legend, an advocate for education, a person responsible for myself stressing the importance of reading. He has been an anchor to all of our lives. That's right. I'm talking about Mr. Jordy LaForge, a.k.a. Reading Rainbow God, a.k.a. Sir King Kunta himself, LeVar Burton, as he's been making his tour to try and advocate the importance of reading books. That's fucking crazy. In 2022, we have LeVar Burton out here touring the globe again, trying to get us to understand the importance of reading books and not letting go of that. it's important that we understand this because this man is not only one of the coolest dudes ever, okay? And I mean that from a standpoint of anyone who's ever been a fan of him, who's ever had the pleasure of meeting this dude. He is one of the coolest, nicest, most generous celebrities you could ever walk up to. I mean it. He'll have deep conversations with you, and the man actually loves books. And he's not going to sugarcoat it. He don't play games. He don't bullshit you. And for some odd, and I don't want to say for some odd reason, because it's fucking Jordy LaForge, of course. The dude is like in his second gear. Like all of a sudden, among the Blur community, Blur women are fucking find the dude attractive. And I was like, look at dude, he's gonna snatch up all the women from everybody now. Look at that. In his age, he's just wrangling them up, beating them off with a stick. I hope I look this good, Gray. I really do. I really do. It's incredible. Like, I would never think in this day and age of losing like women to Kunta Kinte.
Because you put his foot up in it.
King Kunta, man.
Put his foot up in it.
I'm telling you. Fucking it up. Put the visor on and they just swoon. He could be footless or blind and still take women from you. Ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? You can't win. Imagine that. You in the room, you killing everything, and the motherfucker from Reading Rainbow come in and snatch all the women out your body. You was getting women, you was buying drinks, they was giving you drinks, they sitting there playing in your hair. Next thing you know, they went off with Jordy LaForge.
He better be aware, and he better have not brought his little cart with books. I'm gonna hit him with the Encyclopedia Britannica.
Dude, it's like, for me, I would think it would be embarrassing, but I can't even be mad. Because it's LeVar Burton. Can't even be mad about it, you know? The guy is a genius. It's like Neil deGrasse Tyson, and then there's him. When it comes to, like, black scholars, Bill Cosby was up there, but, you know, LeVar Burton is there now, and he's there, you know? And you don't replace that. You really don't. He's earned that spot. I don't know. I wouldn't be mad. I would just kind of sit there and golf clap like, son of a bitch. You wizard. You goddamn wizard. I didn't know I was opening for Richard Pryor. You son of a bitch. I didn't know it. At least I warmed him up for you. I don't know. Would you take leftovers from the guy from Reading Rainbow?
Of course.
I think I would. I think he chooses wisely. So you don't end up with a bad night. I don't think that's possible. But anyway, let's get into this section here. Gio, I want you to play video number 2.
Number Duce?
Yep, number Duce.
All right, here we go.
Check this out.
Check it out. We'll be back.
Has been an ongoing push to ban important children's books, especially about race, sexuality, and basically American history. Right. Give us your reaction to that.
I'll be absolutely candid and honest. It's embarrassing that we are banning books in this country, in this culture, in this day and age. We have this aversion in this country to knowing about our past, and anything that is unpleasant we don't want to deal with. This is not going away.
Nothing goes away.
Nothing goes away, especially if you ignore it. So read the books they're banning. That's where the good stuff is.
That's right.
If they don't want you to read it, there's a reason why.
If they don't want you to read it, there's a reason why. If they don't want you to read it, there's a reason why. Notice they don't ban TV shows. But if they do, we know you'll go find them. They'll ban cartoons, but you'll go find them. When they're banning books like Catcher in the Rye, why are they banning books like that?
Because that's what Ted Cruz uses to burn his victims. He uses fucking the Goldstein Bears. Or
You mean the Bearstein
Bears? The Bearstein Bears.
You fooled you, Bears. The Goldstein Bears.
Goldstein Bears. 9.
Somebody German was like 9.
9.
We eliminated those bears.
Yes. His
I'm
favorite
sorry,
one.
Holocaust joke. That should be wrong. That's
The
so
book
wrong.
that burns the best is the one where the dad catches the mom with the neighbor and the mailman in the tree down by the river in
my
their
God.
grotto. Because dad got fired for misappropriation and one of the kids has an eating disorder.
Oh my God. So that's why they burnt that. That's why that book is banned.
No, it's not. That's why Ted Cruz burns that specific book.
Oh my God.
Because bears ain't real.
Where's Ted? What is Ted Cruz the center of? Is
It's the center of murder.
Murder Town?
Murder Town.
Murder Town.
It's
USA.
him and Guy Ferrari.
Murder Town.
Murder Town, USA.
Murder Town in the Manslaughterville.
The Route 66 killers.
Murder Town from Manslaughterville. This is fucking homicide.
Emu. Or whatever the fuck.
But you see all of these books that have historical stories in it, historical pieces in it, things that have to deal with, you know, certain things that the government has covered up or, you know, protected or shielded from or erased from history books. Anything that challenges what's already being pushed out for people to know as far as that is supposed to be considered history, anything that challenges it, anything that challenges that is banned, blocked, removed from stores where you can find it and access it. They remove the titles, they remove the hashtags, and they make sure that you can't find it that easily. And if you do find it, they make sure that it's in a questionable place that makes you think it's not even real. They do this in hopes that no one does any research whatsoever. They make sure that they do everything possible to make sure that there's no one revealing anything that they've ever covered up, anything they've ever erased, anything that they've ever banned, removed, and said, nope, we're not going to share this with our public. Nuh-uh, no sir, Bob, that's not going to be what we tell our people. We believe in aliens building pyramids. And that's where we're going to keep it.
Go get Will Smith to narrate this documentary about aliens.
They'll never tell you about people that live on the water, that are so evolved as a society that they've shut off the entire outside world and adapted themselves and evolved themselves to be people that can survive and live underwater better than anyone else associated with this world. And they're human. They're human. They've just decided to live entirely different than us. And because of it, they've evolved as a human race and as a species well within us. And they exist on Earth with us. And they're human, just like us. Only problem is, you can't breathe underwater like they can.
Well, according to the Disney classic Pocahontas,
Oh my God, here we go.
savages, they're not even human.
Ah,
So you can't include them.
see?
Right.
People will say that, but not I. As a matter of fact, there'll be people that'll eliminate stories like a man who actually existed and lived in a country, a civilization that was not even discovered. Living there in a border right between major countries. But because him and his people have never been discovered, the existence and their history of their existence, any information whatsoever of their place of origin doesn't exist on any record book. Or, like recently, for example, I'm pretty sure they're working around the clock trying to erase any memory of the fact that a woman could not only press charges on a guy for catching the HPV, but also sue his insurance company because of the fact that she got it in his car. And one thing Geico don't cover is HPVs. Jill, would you do me a favor? I want you to play videos 3 through 7. Folks, I'm not just spewing out shit just to spew out shit. I want to share these mysteries with you. Because
that's my job, ladies and gentlemen. That's my job. I do the spewing around here.
What I want is for you to take something from this and understand that the world is bigger out there. And I'm going to show you just how big and how scary it really is. Take a look at this.
Let's check it out.
The first known humans who have evolved to a life in the ocean, the Bajau people, who spend their entire lives on the water. They live in houseboats spread across Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines, and have been there for at least 1,000 years, obtaining their everyday resources from the ocean. They do this by diving all day, hunting fish and invertebrates. Many will deliberately puncture their eardrums to deal with the pressure underwater, and hold their breath for up to 13 minutes at a depth of 200 feet. So how can they do this? Turns out they have significantly larger spleen, which sends more oxygen to their blood, kind of like a biological scuba tank. It turns out their spleens are 50% larger than the average. And not just the divers, even those who have never gone diving have this trait, which proves that this is natural selection in the Bajau people.
In July 1954, a smartly dressed man arrives at Haneda Airport in Tokyo. When questioned by the customs officers, the mysterious passenger said he was from Tord. The man claimed that it was the third time he was visiting Japan from his country, but officers couldn't find any country named Tord. The man was then given a map and asked to point out his country. He immediately pointed to the area occupied by the Principality of Andorra at the border of France and Spain. He said his country has been in existence for 1,000 years. Officers were suspicious and confiscated his documents and personal belongings. The officers put the mystery man in a nearby hotel whilst they conducted their investigation. To ensure that the mystery man didn't escape, 2 guards were placed on the door. The hotel room in which he was staying only had one entry and exit point. The next morning, the man had disappeared.
So a woman was awarded $5.2 million in a settlement from Geico after contracting an STD from her partner in his vehicle, which was insured by the company. Let me tell you something. The next partner I have, I need to check your insurance papers. And also, I need to check your background history to see if you're sleazy. Because this way, I need to know if I get popped off, I'm getting paid. So what I'm saying is, make sure the person you boning in the car got real good insurance. Because if you bone somebody with the General, you just done. I don't care what Shaquille O'Neal done told you. If you hit somebody with Progressive, you might get paid. But if you do somebody with some insurance they got off an Instagram ad, then you might just be dealing with the shit yourself.
The LGBT community gets a right. They're not taking a right from you. They're saying we just want some of the rights that you have. Blacks saying we want some of the rights you have. Women says we want some of the rights you have. We're not taking any of your rights away. We just want some of those rights that you've been given because you've been a white male. The one man that's never really had to fight for anything. The white man in America has never had an amendment that says you can't go here or you can't do that. So we got to pass this legislation so you can. Every other minority has had to have amendments and legislation in place so they could get certain things that the white man has been afforded for 400 years.
That is a fact. The other night, I had to watch a female officer who on January 6th was attempting to defend the White House say that she was slipping in the blood of her fellow officers.
I thought blue lives matter. I thought all lives matter. You know, when black people that the black lives matter, white lives matter too. Blue lives matter. Oh, I guess now all of a sudden come January 6th, blue lives doesn't matter anymore.
That last guy's name is Fart. Just so you know.
Pedro Lopez.
Brought to you by Reading Rainbow.
His last
It's
name is
Pedro.
Fart. Is it Pedo?
Pedro Lopez.
Pedo Lopez?
They didn't have an R.
Oh, ain't an R?
Mm-mm.
His name is Pedo Lopez.
Pedro Lopez. Pedo means fart. Pedro.
Wow.
Pedro.
Wow.
Unless I didn't see the R.
I thought it was an R there.
Either way, it's funny. I didn't see no R.
We'll look at it later. But anyway.
We'll review the tape.
You know, there's a show out called The Boys. I do have to watch the new season.
Yeah, me too.
Been getting a lot of reviews on it. Hearing a lot of great stuff. Hearing a lot of interesting stuff. It's exciting. And I'm a fan when it comes to shows like that. Shows that are edgy but tackle the superhero genre while also turning it on its ass and really plowing it from other, areas you never thought to see it plowed before.
From the up-down motion.
Yeah. One thing I thought about, though, while looking at The Boys, if we live in a society where people could become, superheroes, wouldn't it be interesting just for a moment to think of the possibilities of what kind of people would gain superpowers and what that would be like? I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about, like, certain people. Like, we work here on Mitchell Street. We see a wild collection of people that walk up and down Mitchell Street. Some good, some bad. Some, wow, I can't believe they're walking.
Wowzers.
But, what if, just what if, out of that little slew of characters that we see, what if one of them, one in particular, just one, happened to come across and actually gain superpowers? What it would be like?
You'd have to put them down immediately.
Probably so. It just so happens,
because they would, if they had the ability to, like Nightcrawler, to poof.
Oh, God.
You know what they'll do? Instead of Jimmy and a car door open, they'll just poof. All right, I'm still stealing this car. Like, we as a people are stuck in our traits, stuck in our ways.
That's funny. And it's funny how you said, like, somebody like a Nightcrawler, which is kind of the name I would give this cartoon here. Although they refer to this hero as the Pro. Me personally, I would call it the Mitchell Street Nightcrawler. But I do say this to say and warn ahead of time. If you are in the workplace, you probably want to put on some earphones. If you are around children, you may want to send them to another room. Because like I said, it's Conspiracy History Thursday, and we don't want to traumatize anybody that isn't ready to gauge.
And if you are mid-stroke, baseball.
Where are you at right now?
Conspiracy History Thursday.
Who's plowing to this show?
Hopefully a lot of people.
I hope not.
I'd be honored.
I would not. I would think you guys are serial killers if you're plowing to just straight us talking about the creepy shit out in the world. Yes, get some. Like, no.
People do it to Joe Rogan all the time. Why not us too?
None of them are black.
Just send us
None of them are black.
Send us some ketchup.
None of them are black. I'm just going to say that right now.
I'm just trying to diversify our funds.
I'm trying to avoid raising serial killers here. Who is fucking the Joe Rogan? Who the wow, really? Ugh. Strange. I would rather you fuck the R. Kelly music than talk radio. It's like fucking to a ham radio or something. I don't know. It's weird. It's strange. This isn't Vietnam, okay? Come on, have some decency. Fuck to an R&B music like regular people. have some romance.
Hey,
you watch this on Tuesdays? Come on now.
It's in the book.
That doesn't go right with the honey jelly. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Rainbow.
Doesn't go right with royal jelly. Talk radio does not go right with royal jelly. It doesn't. You're gonna dry up quicker than a fucking. I ain't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna go there. I'm not gonna say it. I was gonna make an old person joke, and it was gonna involve the president. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna step on that. That's not a hill I'm gonna die on today. Jill, if you will, give them video number 8.
Oh, I was about to die on that hill. All right, here we go. Check this out.
Look at this.
$50.
I only got 30.
So let's drive to an ATM and you can get me the rest.
30's enough. You made me wear rubber.
Goddamn right I did. We agreed on that. We agreed on 50. Go.
Fucking bitch.
Yeah, whatever. Look, Prince Charming, this is a transaction. It's as old as mankind. 5 minutes of work for 5 minutes of pay. So give me the $50 or explain to your wife why I'm still sitting in your car when you get home.
5 minutes, my ass. It was barely even 4. Your technique's a fucking joke. There are 10-year-olds who can suck dick better than that.
I'm sure you speak from experience. Come on, hand.
Fuck you! I'll fucking show you! You cunt!
Oh, shit! Christ! Fuck! Jesus!
Fuck you! Oh. Fuck me.
It's 2:30 in the morning! You said midnight, not 1 minute more!
I know. I got held up.
I don't know why I put up with this! Again and again you lie to me! And I should get more for my trouble than 20 lousy dollars!
I'm sure God will give you your reward in heaven.
What? What'd you say?
Maybe do the world a favor and take you in your fucking sleep.
What?
Ugh, blow it out your twat, you old bitch! Fuck again.
Frankie T on KWBLX, and at 1 p.m. it's Dane Cook debuting with I Kissed a...
Attaboy. Just a little longer. Huh? What the fuck? Okay, Jesus, this is fucked. Will you shut the fuck up here for a second and let me think? Oh, no. I understand. God forbid you would ever... Was that the window? Who the fuck would be... Shit! Holy fucking Jesus.
Greetings, comrade. Welcome to the fight. I am the Saint, and this is the Knight.
Because I'm always out there, in the dark.
His valiant young companion, the Squire.
Morning, ma'am.
And the Lady. Together, we are the League of Honor.
Yeah, I think I saw you on TV. What, you can't knock on the door like normal people, huh?
Yes?
Okay, what is it you want exactly?
We've come to welcome you to...
Yeah, give me a second here.
You see... Whenever a new superhero arises, we gather to celebrate their joining the never-ending battle against evil, and to offer them a place in the League.
Oh, what's that got to do with me? Oh, wait a minute. Do you mean the shit that's happened to me here? Is that what you're talking about? What the fuck is it? Who the fuck did it to me?
Well, we don't know any of the details, of course. But we can help you to channel this power that's awoken in you. We can show you a positive way to...
Jesus fucking Christ, you assholes want me to be one of you? It is a hard road you must travel, sister. alone, it will be all the harder. I'm not your fucking sister. I don't know why you retards think I'd want to come play in your rubber room with you, but you got the wrong woman. I got a kid, a 9-hour shift at Denny's, which I have to be at in about 20 minutes, and a fun night of hand jobs to look forward to. So fuck off. Carry on smearing shit on the walls, and leave me the fuck alone.
You don't understand.
Ahem. The League has long recognized that its members require a certain level of financial support to maintain a viable grounding in everyday civilian life. To that end, a modest stipend has been...
How much?
It's the best offer you'll get all day, ma'am.
Wait! Jesus, this fucking outfit's all the way up my ass. So, we're supposed to fuck up the bad guys, is that right?
Well, we're going to halt whatever rampage of destruction they've embarked on. Yes.
Look! Up ahead, attacking the United Nations building!
By Sappho's lips!
The noun, the verb, the adverb, and the adjective!
Well, the proper names are pretty much all taken.
Burn, League of Honor!
Defensive pattern Gamma, League. Watch out for innocent bystanders.
Oh, that really fucking hurt! Nothing can stop us now, you fools! Prepare to feel the wrath of... Cut, Rick! Ah! Ow! 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 Okay, let go, please, let go! Ah! Twist them around your fucking neck, you twat! Ah! You like that? Huh? Huh? Hey, bitch! The thing about the UN, I find, is you don't realize how racist you are until you visit...
Yes, well, once more, justice has triumphed. Let's see how our new comrade in arms is getting on.
Way to go, pee-pee.
Great Scott! Good Lord! You're the most wonderful.
Don't make more of this than it is. You saved my kid. I'm just saying thanks.
Yes, fine, okay. Oh no, move your head. In God's name, move your head. Oh!
Holy fucking shit!
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
Dear Lord, let me be in time. All those people. Gotta make it. Got to make it. Huh? It's all right, folks. There's no further cause for alarm. Don't worry, you'll be on the ground in no time at all. Oh, no.
Now, why do I get the feeling I'm gonna get the blame for this?
Chirp.
If that doesn't make it onto the Snyder Cut, then I want my money back.
Yeah, that was actually entertaining.
I want my money back for all DC movies. If that doesn't make it into the next, Superman movie? If Michael B. Jordan doesn't go through any of that, I'm through.
That's my new favorite superhero. The Pro.
The Pro. Now, obviously, we had to go in a lighter fashion because things are going to get a little dark from here. And the reason why I say that is because, there are some things out there that are not meant for us to know. And I swear, I don't enjoy any of that. I don't enjoy having to be the guy to be like, hey, did you know? And then ruin everything. But somehow, somebody has to be the guy or the person to, let people in on the inside bit. For example, GR, you fond of treadmills? When you go to work out or you go to take a walk?
I do the treadmill.
You do?
Yeah. Every once in a while.
What's the longest you've been on a treadmill?
Maybe an hour or two. An hour. Depends on how much pre-workout I took.
You ever pressure yourself to go more than that?
No.
Never felt that urge, right? What if I told you that the treadmill itself never started off as a workout per se for you and health benefits? but actually that the treadmill started off as a process of torture. Would you believe me?
I believe it.
See?
I believe it.
He knows me. He knows I'm not going to sit here and just tell him anything. But I'm actually going to include him in on something that he didn't know before. Something that a lot of people didn't know before.
Did you know? Let us know.
Right. And if you don't know, well, we have it listed in here. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of things in here that we're going to share that you didn't know. A lot of things that in here that you've never seen before that you're going to see now. So remember that time I told you how this may be one of our most intense and scariest episodes, and we were talking about those things that Gia wasn't aware of before and that you at home probably weren't aware of before? I think this is that moment. So remember, if you're in the workplace, earphones. If you have kids around and you don't want them traumatized, please
send them to the adoption agency.
I was going to say send them to the room and let them watch Jackass. But if you want to send them to the adoption agency, go for it.
Right.
Gia, if you will, let's give them videos 9 all the way to video 18. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Conspiracy History Thursday mix of things, the known and dark unknowns. Watch at your discretion.
Volume 6. Here we go.
Stay on the sidewalk. Sidewalk.
So Patriot Front got pulled over. They were all piled in the U-Haul, and they are all detained.
Looking photos that have a disturbing backstory part 2. This picture shows the Apollo 1 crew praying as a joke. None of them made it back alive. On January 27, 1967, the Apollo 1 spacecraft went into flames, burning the 3 crew to death.
There is a secret side of Disney World the company doesn't want you to see. If you look at a map of the park, there's a little green spot in the middle of Bay Lake. Now, there's no description of what it is, and it's completely off limits to everyone, including employees. Around 20 years ago, this mysterious island was actually another Disney park called Discovery Island. You'd take a boat from shore, arrive at the island, and basically look at exotic birds. Fast forward to 1999, Animal Kingdom opens, and it's basically a bigger and easier to get to version of Discovery Island. This sparked the very quick decline of the island. Today, it's abandoned and in ruins, completely overrun by nature. It's also heavily guarded. If you're anywhere near Bay Lake, you can be assured that you're being watched. It makes you wonder if there's more to this island than Disney is letting on.
Hey, y'all ain't gonna never be able to look at the treadmill the same again. The treadmill, or the treadwheel, was invented by William Cubitt in 1818 in England as a torture device for prisoners. The belief was that prisoners who could be forced to do this for several hours at a time for very simple infractions would actually change their behavior for the better and be reformed because of this torture. That didn't often happen, but what they did do was they provided free labor for their government by treading meal, aka grinding corn and pumping water. Now, you know America had to borrow this torture method from their big brother, and they were probably mad they ain't come up with it first. Treadmills were soon used in prisons throughout America as well as the Caribbean island. From South Carolina to Jamaica, enslaved black folks would be made to walk on a treadmill for days naked while being whipped, and now we exercise with them.
Most AR-15 owners are former military, 35 plus.
Let me say one more thing.
So that's all I'm saying, is that they're not just crazy people.
Here's the thing. Once black people get guns in this country, the gun laws will change. Trust me.
Just raise it! Just raise it! Just raise it!
You're a racist.
Think about what Joy is saying. She believes that if more black people started arming themselves, the racists in this country will be more open to gun control because they don't want black people to have the freedom, power, and self-reliance that comes with exercising two-way rights. So the question everyone should be asking is, if Joy Behar knows this, why isn't she advocating for black people to exercise their Second Amendment rights? She clearly said that to Lindsay for a reason. Ask yourself, what is that reason? She's trying to insinuate that conservatives don't want blacks to have guns, but the only people pushing for gun control is the left. So is Joy saying that if black people start buying guns, she's gonna drop her stance on gun control? Clearly not. And this is the problem I have with people like her. They use racism like a dog shock collar. Anytime a black person doesn't lean left on an issue, they break out the racism. It's insulting as fuck. It says that black people can only make decisions through the lens of racism. They treat us like children. If you don't stop being an independent thinker, the racist boogeyman is gonna get you. Lindsay literally told her a story about a black man who made his own AR-15 to protect his family. And Joy's response is, if more black people start owning guns, you're gonna see gun control in the country. Then why aren't you standing 10 toes down with my black ass, making sure my two-way rights are protected? She only pulls the race card when it benefits her belief. But if a black person has a different belief than her, she uses the race card to bash us over the head to get us back in line. And then all of the goofy people in the audience start clapping.
Come on, if you're racist and you know it, clap your hands.
I wrote this thing once that said this country has a mental health problem disguised as a gun problem. And that's what it is. It's there's so many guns. There's more guns than there are people. It's not I don't think it's a gun situation. And I don't think you can change the fact that and I don't think it's wise to take the guns away from the people and leave all the power to the government. We see how they are even with an armed populace. They still have a tendency towards totalitarianism. And the more increased power and control you have over people, the easier it is for them to do what they do. And there's a natural inclination when you're a person in power to try to hold more power and acquire more power. And there's never an inclination to give more power back to the people, to give more freedoms back to the people. Freedoms lost are rarely regained.
You know, the Democrats today say they don't want to take your guns away. Well, then why does the legislation do just that? What they should say today is we don't want to take all of the guns away from all of the people just yet, because we know we can't get away with that. The reality is the anti-Second Amendment lobby has vastly outspent all of the pro-Second Amendment groups put together in the last several elections. Who is in the pocket of who? So, the red flag laws, these take all of the guns from some of the people, and the bill that will pass tonight, if the Democrats are fortunate enough to do so, will take some of the guns from all of the people. Now, why are gun owners concerned? Why are the gun owners who don't own so-called high-capacity magazines, for instance, concerned? Why are the gun owners who don't own, for instance, AR-15 style rifles concerned about this legislation? Because they know the legislation won't work, and the response to this unserious, unconstitutional legislation that will allow the school shootings to continue will be more gun control from the Democrats. Let me give you an example. They have a high-capacity magazine ban in here that bans any magazine that can accept over 15 rounds. Well, guess what? At Virginia Tech, the shooter carried 17 magazines, none of which held more than 15 rounds, most of which held 10 rounds. The shooter at Columbine carried 13 magazines, each of which held 10 rounds. This legislation would have done absolutely nothing. It's not about how many rounds does the magazine hold. It's about the evil intent of the shooter, and is there somebody there with the capacity to stop that shooter before they can get going? Why is this legislation dead on arrival in the Senate? Why is it dead on arrival in the Supreme Court? One of my colleagues has already acknowledged they know this is unconstitutional, and they'll pack the court if they have to. They said it in Judiciary Committee to keep this legislation alive after it should long since die.
You will not stop us from advancing the Protecting Our Kids Act today. You will not stop us from passing it in the House next week, and you will not stop us there. If the filibuster obstructs us, we will abolish it. If the Supreme Court objects, we will expand it, and we will not rest until we have taken weapons of war out of circulation in our communities.
But why is it dead? Because Americans don't support it. You've quoted statistics. Those statistics are fake. If they were true, this would breeze through the Senate. But they're not. And so I urge my colleagues to respect the Constitution, respect the will of the American people, to respect the safety of American citizens, and most of all, the safety of children. Let's do something to protect them instead of these fake virtue signals that will do nothing but to curtail the Second Amendment rights of Americans. And with that, I yield back to the chairman.
Let the message from this committee hearing...
Now, let me ask you this. In a land that we deem to be free, a land that we create amendments that say protect our right to bear arms, a right to protect ourselves, are we really going to sit by and allow our government to take that away from us because we can't do our due diligence at home and take care of our weapons, monitor our children, monitor the people around us? So we've become that lazy and stagnant that we don't police ourselves. We wait for everyone else to do it and then raise a fuss and say, well, why did it happen? Even though it walked past your front fucking door. Even though it walked past your bedroom fucking door and went out and caused the danger, we're going to allow our own government to take that away from us because we don't do our part? Let me present this to you for a minute. Let's say, and you can cue up the next video on this one. Let's just say we're successful. We come up with a legislation that removes the guns from us and keeps it to the government. Okay, you've eliminated the possibility of any of us having guns and not being registered to have guns and not having... You don't have to worry about that anymore. You're good. Okay, so you're fine. Now, in this next video, as I said earlier, there are some knowns and there's some unknown knowns. For example, there's a belief that here in this country, way, way up in the Appalachians, somewhere lost within the pines and the mountain ranges, are animals and species that we don't necessarily don't even pay attention to. They have a documentary on them because there are reports of said creatures. And I'm not talking about aliens. No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about actual animals. A living, breathing, animalistic organism, a very primal animal that exists in a region that nobody really populates like that. And those that do are chased away from. Whether it be through neighboring towns, government officials. People say, hey, you go up there, it's at your own risk, and we ain't going up there to get your ass. They call them skinwalkers. They have a whole documentary. They put it on Hulu. Apparently, there are creatures that can kill their prey and assume their flesh as a way to get close to you. They mimic deer. They mimic bears. Some reports have said they've even mimicked humans. Scary to think about it. But there are people who have actually come in contact with these things, lived to talk about it, and some that didn't. And for some apparent reason, we ignored it. Why? Because we're scared of that shit. And hell, I don't think we can do much if we ain't got no guns to shoot it. But let me tell you, what if that wasn't the only thing you had to worry about? What if there was more? Gio, if you will, hit him with a video. Let's give him number 15.
Okay.
Now, like I said, it's not suitable for workplace, so get them kids out the room, keep them babies out the street, and make sure that gun is tucked away real nice and tight and loaded and away from children's hands, because you may need it if you come across one of these bad boys.
There we go. Ooga booga. Boo.
Now, I'm not one to go out there challenging every goddamn creature. I believe in hunting things that are meant for food. If you're doing it for sport, then you just like killing. And you're pretty much a couple shots away from hunting humans. But for me personally, I always felt like hunting was more for food and camping and stuff like that.
Resources.
Resources. Exactly. Now, I'm not the type to go out there hunting for things like this. If I see something like that, I'm not hunting for food or sport. I'm not trying to kill a cave worm. I'm trying to survive. And then I'm trying to blow the damn mine shaft so that some bitch don't come up looking for my ass. These people, on the other hand, went looking for it. They were finding it, finding examples, finding actual evidence. And so far, the evidence is growing. So far, what we're learning, that as life goes on, as the world keeps turning, as this globe keeps spinning, and as more stuff start to lose, like the ozone layer and climate change, and more tectonic plates start to shift and crack open, what we're starting to realize is a lot of the shit that we used to make fun of in the movies for being so stupid, the things that we used to write in books to say that was so fantastical, I wish things like that were exist. Now we're starting to realize that, hey, you sons of bitches been ripping off shit that's been going around. Somehow, some way, life is evolving. Elements around us are evolving. Things that we once seen or even joked about are now normal. Things that we never imagined we would see in real life are starting to develop the history here. They're starting to develop more than just a myth. There's starting to be sightings. We used to joke about, you know, people being abducted on their way home and then say, oh, well, what happened to Earl? Earl was gone for 8 days and come back. I was kidnapped by aliens. And everybody was like, well, you mean the chick over in Kentucky you had to go pay child support to? You had to go visit your child? That just became one of the easy ways. Like, if you wanted to get away from your wife and you wanted to visit your other family, You said you were abducted by aliens. It's a popular thing in the Midwest. The unfortunate thing was, then motherfuckers were saying, yo, they really got me this time. And it was like, what? And then they started talking about they were getting probed, and it was like, wait a minute, motherfucker, wait a minute. You went to San Francisco. We didn't believe them. And we continued to play around with it. We continued to toy with the idea. Yeah, remember Earl said he went off and got the probe thing, you know. We don't believe it. We never believe it. So we add on to it. We fabricate off of it. We start creating stories, cartoons, action figures. We give Will Smith a movie and say, you're going to go around and you're going to zap everybody and say, make them forget about it, and then you go shoot the thing like this. We toy with the unknown. But really, think about why they do that. Is it because it's a fascinating thing that we feel like can make money off of it? Or are we taking something like that, benefiting off of it financially, but also taking a little bit of that truth and making it easily digestible for the public, just in case some shit pops off? Because that has been 30 years ago, and we saw like flying worms flying around, eating shit the size of buildings. We'd be sitting there panicking and probably shoot each other and probably stand on the rooftop and say, well, take me. Now, we'll look at that shit and say, oh, that's that shit Hawkeye shot. Just give me a bow and arrow set. We can kill him. If we saw it on Avengers, now we believe we got a fighting chance. 50 years ago, if you would have told us a big-ass cockroach was coming down to grab a fucking penthouse off of the Space Needle and fly back home, we'd have looked at you and said you were fucking ridiculous and you were high on fucking meth.
And not the good kind of meth.
Now we see that shit, we'll just say call Will Smith. He'll slap the shit out of it and zap us so we forget about it.
Yeah. Aha.
And make sure Tommy Lee Jones is there if he's still alive.
Yeah.
If not, call Josh Brolin. Make him act like him. Everything becomes easily digestible. Hell, think about it like this. Before Chris Rock did Head of State, do you really think Barack Obama would have easily walked into the White House? No. Chris Rock made that shit easily viewable. Hell, just the thought of Chris Tucker being president at the time made that easily accessible. We didn't even believe anything like that could be possible. Hell, put it to you like this. If you look at where we are now, with the president that we have,
we're in great shape for destruction.
Well, clearly we are. You know why? Because we've been prepared by this, man. We've known for the last 40 years what we're capable of. You know why? Because a little funny-looking Jewish white man and a guy who was a child star named Andrew McCartney made us believe that if they can pull a dead guy off to a trip in Malibu and pull off a whole weekend and still get away with the girl, then we could do it for at least 4 to 8 years and get away with the economy. That's right, folks. Weekend at Bernie's has prepared us for this presidency. All of us would have panicked had that movie not came out.
They are remaking that movie, by the way.
It's already made. We're watching it. We go to the White House to see it every day. Just don't play any Caribbean music or that motherfucker gonna walk off.
Right.
Like he did in the sequel. Well, maybe he should, because then he'll find some treasure. We need the fucking bullion right now. We need the gold. Play some Caribbean music. Get the steel drum out, quick.
Right.
Kamala, get on your shit. Get the steel drum out there.
Just be careful, because Pelosi's going to want to kneel.
Can you imagine that? Motherfuckers get to playing Bobby McFerrin, and then you see the fucking Joe Biden just throw off and shit. Just go strutting off. Right from the fucking part, right in the middle of a fucking address.
Right.
And just like, where the fuck is he going? And you have the steel drum like, follow that man. Right. Follow the steel drums. Our answer to the oil crisis is there. Tell you, man. So if anything, we'll be all right. We'll be all right if we keep our head on a swivel. If we don't fucking panic. If we keep our shit together. And we don't lose our fucking composure. We keep our head on a fucking swivel. We can handle this shit, okay? We can handle this. We can handle the guns. We can handle racism. We can handle sexism. We can handle ventriloquism with the president and shit. We can handle all this shit, okay? As long as we keep it together, we don't lose our fucking composure. So keep it together, okay? Don't lose your shit. Keep your cool. Relax. We're prepared for this. We don't need to worry about sandworms. You know why? Kevin Bacon told us what to do. Wear cowboy boots and get footloose out there.
Put on your Hyundai shoes.
You know? We don't worry about sand fleas out there. You know why? Well, black folks don't because we don't swim. So we don't have nothing to worry about on that. None of us white folks. We let them deal with that. But we don't have to worry about our guns. We just got to worry about our people. Pay attention to the environment around you. Talk to your kids. Talk to your neighbors. It's time to get out of this bullshit of, man, you don't need to be in my business. You ain't on my lease. That's the problem. Not being in anyone's business when you ain't got no business to have. Now, I ain't saying go in there and inspect their fucking credit score. I'm just saying, be aware of what the fuck you living next to. Be aware of where you're taking your kids to school. Stop skipping those PTO meetings. Stop skipping those city hall meetings. Stop skipping those town hall meetings. Stop skipping those meetings where you can go and talk to your alderman, where you can talk to your city councilman, where you can talk to your senate, where you can talk to the fucking people and administrators of your school district. Stop skipping those meetings. If your ass ain't skipped the fucking game day, if you ain't skipped the fucking football Sunday, if you ain't skipped the local barbecue, or you ain't skipped the fucking free before 11, your ass can go to a PTO meeting. Your ass can go sit down in the parent-teacher conference and find out what the fuck your kid is drawing in their notebook.
They ain't got wings at that event, though. So high.
Yeah, if they ain't got no wings, it's gonna be a problem.
Shit.
We gotta do better as a community. We're sitting there talking about the government dropped the ball. Yeah, they dropped the ball. And so did we.
You put them in the game, you fucking idiots.
For some reason, we decided we didn't want to play anymore. We want to watch everybody else play. Ain't nobody left to play but the government. And we sitting there mad because we don't like the show. Well, get your ass up off the bench and go play. They can't run us off the court. Really? They can't even control the gas prices. How they gonna stop us from fucking taking... Look, all I'm saying, I'm not trying to cause a riot.
Right. Some guy is cleaning his barrel.
Right. And probably missed the whole fucking point of all of this. I'm gonna go shoot the sand right now. If you're out there looking for cave worms right now, you're a fucking idiot and you deserve to be eaten.
Yeah.
But don't go out there blowing holes in fucking mine shafts and shit, opening doors and portals and shit, and letting these motherfuckers out talking about something. Expose yourselves! It's time to die! No. You're not a hero. You're not. At least not mine. But the least you can do, is start at home. Start at home and work your way out into your neighborhood.
And how do you do that, ladies and gentlemen? You do that by going to the website, hittinghardradio.com, and bookmarking us on all your home pages, all of your home screens, all your smart TVs, all of your laptops, all of your tablets. Even program us into your phone. We're there. And on that note, this has been Conspiracy History Thursday, and we are out. Later.
The Morning Shift, MKE.